The short-term gain hides the long-term cost. Let me just repeat that. The short-term gain hides the long-term cost. Think of a row of dominoes. When you knock down the first one, the others fall over too. And if I place something in between the dominoes so that you can only see the first and the last dominoes, let me make sure I get this right, the domino effect still occurs whether you see them all fall over or not. So, with this in mind, let me ask you a question. Why is it that when people graduate from university, they can't find jobs? Why is it that you need 15,000 years of experience to apply for a low-skilled, low-pay cleaner job? Why is it that graduates end up unemployed or stuck at Starbucks for years and competing with people who never went to university? Where are all the entry-level jobs? Well, what you're seeing is the final domino. Let me just get that right so you can see. Yeah, the final domino. What you're not looking at is the first domino, the cause of all of this. The first domino can be summarized in 2 words. Minimum wage. All jobs below minimum wage are deleted, including entry-level jobs. And the people who would compete for those low-paying jobs are now competing for the jobs at minimum wage and higher, which takes the power out of the hands of the employees and puts the power in the hands of the employers. The result is frustration with the current system, a breakdown in employee confidence, employer abuse, overwork, underwork, low wages, mass long-term unemployment, and a host of other problems. And all that was because of minimum wage. And as I said, the short-term gain hides the long-term cost. You say you want a minimum wage to help the workers, but what you don't realise or don't see is the knock-on effects. You don't see the domino effect that has an impact down the line. The short-term gain hides the long-term cost. The whole of economics can be reduced to a single lesson, and that lesson can be reduced to a single sentence. The art of economics consists at looking not merely at the immediate, but at the longer effects of any policy. It consists in tracing the consequences of that policy not merely for one group, but for all groups. The most frequent fallacy by far today is to concentrate on the short-run effects of policies on special groups and to ignore or belittle the long-run effects on the community as a whole. In other words, what is blamed on the free market, low pay, low productivity, mass long-term unemployment, high rents, high house prices, job dissatisfaction, inflation, poor product quality, pollution, poor and costly healthcare, bad pension systems, giant corporations and monopolies, agenda-ridden media companies, and a host of other things, are actually the result of state intervention in the market. Every policy that a socialist calls for is, in fact, the cause of the problem that they are trying to solve. They call for rent control to lower the rents and then wonder why rents end up being higher than they were before rent control and why there are slumlords and housing shortages. They don't realise the knock-on effects of their policies. They just want to save society, and that's great. But the short-term gain hides the long-term cost. Socialism doesn't work. Socialism is bad for everyone, the rich and the poor. A child is dependent upon their parents. So if you steal from the parent, you steal from the child. And if you tax the rich, you tax the poor. And so when I hear the Marxist or National Socialist arguments for using socialism to help the poor, The answer is that they're not helping the poor. They're hurting the poor. It is the free market, the very thing they're fighting against, that helps the poor.